Have you ever felt a quiet nudge in your heart? A gentle pull in a direction that doesn't make sense on paper, but just feels right? Maybe you've ignored it. Maybe you've been too busy, too scared, or too distracted. But what if I told you that nudge might be God calling you? And what if ignoring that call is the reason you're stuck, confused, or restless? This video is a wake-up call. This is your moment. So stay with me for the next few minutes. Let's talk about why ignoring God's call is dangerous, and how answering it can change your life forever. What is God's call? Let's start simple. What does it even mean when we say, God is calling you? It's not always a voice from the sky. Sometimes, it's a deep feeling. Other times, it's a word in a sermon that hits your heart like a thunderbolt. It could be a dream, a conversation, or even something painful that pushes you to rethink your life. God's call is His way of saying, I have something for you. I'm not done with you. I want to lead you. He doesn't just call pastors or preachers. He calls teachers, parents, students, doctors, cleaners, musicians, and even the ones who feel broken. God called Moses through a burning bush. He called Samuel as a little boy in the middle of the night. He called Paul while he was actively fighting against Christians. In every case, God had a plan. A personal, powerful plan. And guess what? He has one for you, too. Why do we ignore God's call? Reason 1, fear. We're afraid of change. We're afraid of losing comfort. We're afraid we're not good enough. But let me remind you, God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. Reason 2, distractions. We're so busy scrolling, working, hustling. We don't even take time to hear God. The noise of the world is loud. But God's voice? It's often still and quiet. You have to slow down to hear it. Reason 3, doubt. Thinking, maybe it's not God, or maybe I'm just imagining this. If you keep waiting for 100% certainty, you might miss your moment. Faith doesn't mean you understand everything. Faith means you trust Him enough to say, yes, even when you don't have all the answers. What is the cost of ignoring God? Let me be real. There's a cost to saying yes to God. But there's also a cost to saying no. Jonah ignored God's call, and ended up in the belly of a fish. The rich young ruler walked away from Jesus because he didn't want to give up his wealth. And we never heard from him again. Every time we ignore God, we miss something. We miss peace. We miss purpose. We miss people we were meant to help. We miss becoming who we were born to be. Ignoring God might keep you safe, but you'll never be satisfied. What happens when you answer? Now here's the good news. Every time someone in the Bible answered God's call, everything changed. Moses became a leader. David became a king. Esther saved a nation. Peter became a rock of the church. They were all ordinary people. But when they said yes, God used them in extraordinary ways. And here's the truth you need to hear, God still works that way. He still speaks. He still calls. And He still uses broken people. You may think you've failed too much. You may think it's too late. But if you're still breathing, God is still calling. How do you know it's God calling? Here are a few signs. 1. It aligns with His word. God will never call you to do something that goes against the Bible. 2. It won't leave you alone. The thought keeps coming back. You can't shake it. 3. It stretches you. God's call often leads you out of your comfort zone. 4. It brings peace. Even if it scares you, deep down, you feel peace. And don't forget to pray. God isn't trying to hide. If you ask, He'll make it clear in His time. What are the steps to answer God's call? Step 1. Be still. Take time each day to sit quietly. Read your Bible. Listen. God speaks to those who listen. Step 2, say yes in faith. You don't need all the answers. You just need a willing heart. Step 3, take the first step. Maybe it's talking to someone. Maybe it's starting something. Maybe it's walking away from something that's holding you back. Small steps lead to big change. Step 4, surround yourself with the right people. Get around people who push you toward God, not away from Him. Step 5, keep going even when it's hard. Obedience isn't about ease. It's about trust. And God rewards those who follow Him, even when it costs them. Let me share a few stories. Story 1, a man who felt called to leave his job. He didn't understand why. But he obeyed. Within a year, he started a business that helps the homeless. He's never been more fulfilled. Story 2, a woman who forgave after years of pain. God told her to forgive someone who hurt her deeply. It was hard. But after she obeyed, her heart healed. And so did her relationships. Story 3, a young person who started a prayer group. They didn't feel ready. But they did it anyway. Today, hundreds of students gather every week to pray together. Do you see what happens when you say yes? God uses obedience. Every time. So now, it's your turn. What is God calling you to do? Is He calling you to surrender your life to Him? To walk away from something unhealthy? To start something new? To forgive someone? To serve? Whatever it is, don't ignore it. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to trust that the one who's calling you knows what He's doing. God doesn't call the perfect. He calls the willing. He calls people just like you. And your yes could change everything. Don't miss your moment. Don't ignore His voice. Don't waste one more day. Say yes. And watch what God does. If this message spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe, like and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment and answer to this question: what is God calling you to do right now? I'll be reading and praying with you. Until next time. Answer the call. Because your future is waiting.